Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for some of us. Very warm welcome from my side. This is Amit from CXO TV and itVARnews.com. And welcome to this Fireside Chat where we have the pleasure of hosting Mr. Krishna Rangasayee, who is the founder and CEO of SiMa.ai. And we also have Mr. Harald Kroeger, who is the President Automotive and Head of Sales for SiMa.ai. So very warm welcome both of you in this very interesting fireside chat.
Thank you, Amit, very much. Excited to join you.
Warm welcome. So today we are going to delve into some key aspects of the tech landscape as well as innovation and the journey of SiMa.ai in shaping the future of AI in India. Okay. So, first of all, Mr. Krishna, if you could share the founding story of SiMa.ai and the inspiration behind venturing into the artificial intelligence and machine learning landscape.
Great question. Happy to cover the ground. So, myself, I think I've spent 30 years now in the technology industry in both silicon and software. And one of my observations on AI and ML was that there's a lot of scaling of AI and ML in the cloud. The last 10, 15 years, we've all seen a Google or a Microsoft or a Meta or an Amazon scale. We also have seen AI ML scale in the mobile form factor, whether it's on phones or on tablets or other form factors. But everything that's physical that we live in the real world, whether it's an automotive or robotics, or industrial automation, or medical, or smart vision systems, really hasn't seen the benefit of AI and ML in the last 10, 15, 20 years. And if you dig into the technology, it's still 30, 40-year-old technology. And we need to bring that physical world into the 21st century. So we started SiMa.ai to build a purpose-built platform to scale AI and ML in a big way into the physical industrial world.
Very good. So what we are seeing that SiMa.ai is basically recognized for its innovative approach to edge AI computing. So how does your organization, how does SiMa.ai's platform address the unique challenges of deploying AI solutions at the edge, and what industries or applications benefit the most from this kind of technology?
Great question. So I think unlike the cloud, where performance is the only thing that matters, a large problem at the edge is performance is important, but equally important is power efficiency. So really important that you solve for both high performance, but also very power efficient solutions. And that's one area of innovation where we bring cloud-like performance, but at very, very low power into the edge. So that's one key area of innovation for us. The second key area of innovation is really around software ease of use. AI and ML is still a new entity for many of our edge customers. We really need to bring them the AI ML experience without the learning curve, where they really can, in a very significantly quick manner, deploy AI and ML systems into edge applications. So the applications so those are the two things we do well, which is performance per watt, which is power efficiency. The second key area is ease of use. The applications we service are robotics, industrial automation, drones, smart vision systems, medical systems, and now increasingly automotive.
Very good. So what we are seeing that in this competitive world of AI ML startups, innovation has been the most crucial aspect. So how does SiMa.ai foster a culture of innovation within the company, and what role does continuous learning play in staying ahead of the curve?
Another really good question. So I think we have always been very keen on customers. And so to me, innovation for innovation's sake really is not that helpful. Innovation that's directed in a way that customers really care about is really the key thing that we really are focused on. We've spent almost decades now listening to customers on what really needs to be done to scale AI and ML in a big way. And many of our founding principles and the concepts are really to help that. A thing that we learned was that performance per watt and ease of use are the two top careables for our customers. That is really fundamentally pervades across all innovation that we look to. But to your point on continuous improvement, nobody has seen the future. You cannot come back and decide what life is going to be 5 years from now. So you pick a vector of innovation and you continuously listen to customers. You continuously monitor what's happening in the market, and you incorporate that learning in what we go look to. And as an example, and I'll request Harry to also add to it, is we didn't start the company from day one into getting into automotive. And that's relatively a new area of focus for us. As we gain confidence in the technology working in Gen 1, Gen 2, we now came back and said, hey, we are ready to take the risk into getting into automotive. And I'll request Harry to add his comments on automotive as well.
Yeah, the automotive space is especially interesting because driver assistance systems today are based on algorithms that are 20, 30 years old, deterministic algorithms, which hit a roof. I mean, you can't get beyond the level 2+ system where you still need to pay full attention all the time. And what we see is, I'm not even talking about fully autonomous driving, but level 3 driving where you can read a book or watch a movie while you drive. That is something we're going to see in the next 5 years on highways. So not in the city of Bangalore downtown, but on highways between big cities, for example. And this technology can only be done with AI, machine learning. That's the way to go. And here comes the point. Today's technology using graphic cards, chips that have been invented for mobile phones, don't do the trick. They're not efficient enough. They're not performant enough. And the whole car industry is waiting for a product that is way more efficient, because in the end, when you talk about electric cars, you talk about range. Yeah, so you don't want to basically pull away the range of the car by just doing perception. And that is a big demand. We see that everybody looks for this. That's why we're very excited as SiMa entering this space with our product. We think it's just perfectly suited product for this purpose.
Very well. Very well. So, if you talk about startups, so this is an area where resource constraint is a major fact. So how has your organization overcome challenges related to funding, maybe talent acquisition, market penetration, and what what others can what are the things that other AI and ML startups can draw from your experience?
Very, very good question. And so I've been in only big companies before I started SiMa. And so this has been an enormously strong learning curve. So we're a small company, much, much smaller than anybody else. And as you said, resource constraint for everything. But the thing that I've really recognized is, in most big companies, size is not a correlation to what you can get done. It's about having the right set of people committed to the right cause. And small teams can really do a more effective job than big teams. So that's the biggest learning curve that I think I would encourage everybody that's starting a company or in peer basis to look to, is hire the best talent, but not just the talent, but the ability to make a team out of them so that the right results can be engineered with the right few folks. That's number one. Number two, this is extremely a relationship business also. It's not just a technology business. If you want to get in automotive, you need to really bring people that have done it before, and you cannot just assume and hope that it's going to happen with just effort alone, right? Similarly, we have benefited a lot from partnerships. I mean, TSMC is a very big partner for us in manufacturing our chip. ARM is a very strong processing partner. Synopsys is a very strong development partner for us. So by building a strong network of partnerships, you kind of de-risk the resource constraint that you have, because now you have big players supporting you, and you kind of are standing on the shoulders of giants. So you really get the benefit of working with everybody. The third thing is to really minimize distraction. It's important to know that you're resource constrained. It's important to not chase every shiny object. And being disciplined is really critical to go look to. Because you could look at the resource constraint as a challenge, Or you could look at that as a positive and really say, with the resources that I have, what is the first order principle that I want to go solve for versus getting everything perfect? And iteration is really important, and you'll never get it right. But at a startup, you have the benefits that you could iterate much quicker than in a big company, right? So I think my view of it is you could look at the resource constraint as a positive, and to the best extent possible, you could de-risk the resource constraints by partnering with other people that could help your cause. But being disciplined and being frugal in money is really always a good place to be.
Very, very. So can you also talk about your global and India footprint and your business achievements over the last 12 to 18 months? And what exactly, in your views, are the critical factors that have been crucial for your organization's success in such a dynamic and competitive marketplace?
Great, happy to. So I think we're close to 200 people globally, and about half of them are in the Bay Area, in the US, in California. And we have a fairly large team here in Bangalore. That's our second largest site. So those are two major sites, and Harry is in Europe and is based in Stuttgart. We're building up an automotive team there. So we have grown quite a bit in the last 12 to 18 months. We're close to double the size of our footprint globally in terms of people. We are well funded, and we have raised quite a bit of capital, and Fidelity in the US is our largest investor. In the last 12, 18 months, the largest success for us has really been we have taken our generation one product, both software and hardware, into production. We are engaged with 50 customers globally, and we are beginning to get into revenue and getting into the commercial aspect of really commercializing our product. That's been an exciting product for us. And as I look at the future for us, it's Gen 2 that's coming around the corner. No doubts we want to ramp up our commercial success globally. And now the new area of focus for us is really also into getting into automotive. And I'll also request Harry to talk about what we have for the future in automotive.
Yeah. So automotive, as I said, the general market is right now waking up asking for this product. And I understand your question. You were asking specifically about the Indian market and the dynamic of this, right? So what we see here is pretty amazing. The Indian OEMs and the companies we're talking to are looking very far ahead already. They're not talking about what's right now very important, but what they see is we want to have a solution every day as we speak. Great new highways are built on a very good status in terms of, build status, lane markings, everything that's, second to none. And on those roads, it will be very interesting to have a good driver assistance systems for long distance travel. And I think it's a very good move from Indian companies to say we prepare for that step. We not wait till it's all there, but we're now thinking about our product strategy for these roads. Maybe not in the least expensive car just used in the city, like a small three-wheel or something. You don't need it, yes. But we see it's coming. The average income is increasing. India is developing fast. And we see that the automotive market, with the infrastructure being built up, with more and more excellent highways being built, it makes a lot of sense to have a good driver assistance system. And we see the ambition of Indian manufacturers to say at some point they're going to export those vehicles outside the Indian market, and there a driver assistance system is a must. And I see the hunger and the ambition of the Indian manufacturers to be top of the class. So I don't want to have a low-end driver system, but they say let's leapfrog all the guys that did the old software stuff. We got to go in with machine learning, AI, and just deliver a system that's top of the class. And that's, I think, a very good situation, and it's good for the Indian industry for sure.
And I think with this week, Harry and I have been visiting customers here in India, small customers and big customers. Mm-hmm. It's really amazing to see the excitement, and everybody seems to have a very clear outlook for what they want to get done. So we're excited to enable the AI expansion footprint in India.
Yeah, and me as a person not born in India, for me, it's fascinating to see the dynamic of this country. Like, the will to move fast, the appetite to innovate, to go fast. That's exciting. And for us, I mean, as Krishna explained, I consider us as an Indian company. Like we have half of our engineering force here. The other half, 80% is Indian-born people. So we understand the market. We know what the market needs. We talk the same language. We're not a Chinese startup or something like that, which would always struggle. We're not an American company that moves in. We understand the market. We want to be part of India. We are part of India. That's a different approach, and I see this resonating really well with the Indian customers. They understand. They see us as somebody really helping the Indian ecosystem to get to this level, and that's very positive for us, of course.
Very good, very good. So, looking ahead, so let's talk about the outlook and the trends that you see which will be shaping the AI startup segment, and how can startups like SiMa.ai or many other startups, how can those startups position themselves to leverage these trends for a sustainable growth over the next few years?
Great question. I think the biggest shift that's happening in AI and ML is really in it getting into what we call multimodal. We are beginning to now get AI capabilities that are mimicking human capacity. And what I mean by multimodal is the ability to see, the ability to listen, the ability to visualize, the ability to touch. We are now mimicking that in technology and really getting into a multimodal experiment. And this today, obviously, everybody is connecting to ChatGPT and LLMs, and we're experiencing the consumer benefit of it. But this is now going to come into enterprise applications and industrial applications. So the biggest shift, I think, is really around global scaling of AI, and AI playing a very big part in really changing the way we work, changing the way we interact. And it's going to get into a human augmentation cycle. So that's really the macro trend, I think, that we are participating in. Some aspects of the trend will move faster, some will take time. But overall, directionally, I think we are all headed there. And I think anybody starting a company that doesn't have an AI strategy today is already going to be hurting. I mean, this is no longer a fad. This is no longer a temporary thing that's going to go away. It's not a marketing effort. I think AI is going to fundamentally reshape our lives in a big way. So startup or big company, I think everybody necessarily will need to have an AI focus. And Harry, you should add more of your thoughts to it.
Yeah, we're completely aligned here. We even talk about, like in the car world, you sometimes talk about the software-defined vehicle. You might have heard that term. We actually talk about software-defined, AI-defined products, where we think this is such a dominant part of the product because it opens up so many possibilities. And we talk about AI-defined products and AI-defined production and processes. And this is really the next step. And that has been left behind for quite some time because everybody was doing cloud stuff, basically ChatGPT and such. But if you think about it, a lot of things need to happen on the edge device in the product or at the production line because you can't tolerate any latency in the system. And this step, taking AI to the edge device, I think is a huge shift that's happening right now. That's the exciting part here. That's right. The sentence Krishna said, totally support that. This is a pivotal moment here in time. You need to get onto this train as fast as possible. If you miss this train, you can't catch it up.
And the one thing that I would add is for every startup that's looking at an AI focus, the big thing that you need to be prepared for is things are changing so fast that you really need to have an ability to pick a vector, be really, really focused on that vector, but also be agile to really adapt. 2 years ago, nobody knew that ChatGPT would be taking the world over. And I promise you in 2 years, we'll have something else that's taken the world over, right? And so that's a lot of change and very quick. And so you really need to be very agile because if you're really stuck on something that's no longer relevant, you're going to be dead. So the ability to be agile, the ability to listen to your customers, the ability to be able to iterate and adapt is really going to be very key for survival.
Exactly. So thanks a lot. I believe this has been a very interesting discussion, very interesting interaction with both of you. Thanks a lot for being with us and for a very interesting interaction. And I believe that our audience would also love the kind of inputs that you have put forward. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and thanks for the questions.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.